stuff, you know?
Like, well, I was 35 when I made my first millions. I can tell you at 39, I lost it all.
Yeah. See, that's experience right there. That's experience, dude. Yeah, true.
1 year.
Golly. That's something to talk about. You going live? Good. That's important.
Yeah.
So you said you made your first million was at 35, but you
Yep.
lost it by 39, and you made it back in 1 year. What'd you do to make it back?
So I became an entrepreneur, so went into real estate.
Yeah.
So when I made my million, like you got to define million, how you make it, right?
Right. People always just say gross revenue or
Right.
something like that, or net.
And it wasn't like I made $1 million in one lump, right? I started out as an executive at 21 years old, and became a millionaire by saving money to get there, like the traditional world.
Oh, wow.
Most of the people in the world just aren't disciplined enough to save the money they're making,
True,
right?
true.
So when you're making a couple $100,000 a year,
Yeah.
and you live off of 50, 60,000, you can get to $1 million
Totally
in
different.
10 years, right? It's a different mindset to get to $1 million.
I'm
Right?
okay with that. Yeah. No, 100%. It's a different mindset to get to. It's a different way. I mean, totally different thinking.
Totally.
But it creates a discipline that you probably still carry today.
I do. So like, it was a way of like almost like being a squirrel and trying to hold my nest egg.
Yeah.
But then it opened my eyes to something, because at 35 to 37, I lost it.
Right.
It's gone.
How fast it can go.
Yeah, I mean, I got sick. I came down with Lyme disease,
Damn.
and I spent $750,000 of that million
Just to live off them, or?
just to find out what was wrong with me.
Oh my gosh, so it was all medical.
Yeah, 100%. Like, and to sustain life and business and pay my bills.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't work.
Right.
So like this facade of like save, the discipline to get to $1 million takes a lot of character.
Right.
But it takes a lot more character to hold it.
Oh, I believe that 100%. That's
Yeah.
exactly where I'm learning.
And so as an aspiring entrepreneur at the time, I'm like, I want back my $1 million.
Right.
But I don't want to just get back my $1 million. I want to make a lot more. And I want to be now in control of how I make that.
Right.
So entrepreneurship was born for me. Went into real estate, started buying and selling houses, helped my brother-in-law. We did over 300 deals a year. And again, applied the mindset of saving.
Okay.
I didn't go out to buy the Rolex
Yeah.
and the fancy stuff, the nice
So you stayed
David
conservative
Yormans.
then.
I did, until I earned the right to afford the Rolex.
What mentally or what number did you feel like you earned it? Like, what was that? Because everybody's going to be different on that.
Yeah, so for me, it was when I was still able to achieve purpose and still have pleasure.
Was there like you didn't have stress, like the feeling of not having stressed to go stretch yourself?
So I set 3 markers for myself. One was my freedom mark, which was about $10,000 a month.
Yeah.
To cover my freedom.
Right.
Never work
Pretty
a job
conservative
again.
living and good job. Yeah, good money.
Exactly. And in Northwest Indiana, you can live very conservative.
Yeah, absolutely,
$10,000 a month.
Right.
But my healthy mark was about $15,000.
Okay.
Now I can start achieving purpose. I can start giving back.
Right.
And my purpose in life is to give back to others. And finances, time, money, I say of my life, labor, influence, finances, and experience.
Yeah.
But then my abundant mark, when I felt like I was in a healthy place, was 20,000.
20,000.
Yeah, a month.
A month. Yep.
And so once I hit
total net revenue.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so when I hit 20,000 a month, it's like, now I can live abundantly. And I always tell people, you have no right to forfeit responsibility for pleasure.
Absolutely.
And this world's wrapped up too much in going after pleasure before they obtain, they cover the responsibilities.
100%.
And so when you see me wearing a Rolex, you see me wearing nice jewelry, you see me driving a nice car, it's not because I'm forfeiting responsibility for pleasure. It's because I've earned the right to live abundantly by putting my responsibility first.
Yeah, I agree 1,000%. And I'm going to transition it into like fitness as well.
Yeah.
And so let's talk about your journey there, because
Sure.
the discipline's the same exact thing. You know, you have to earn your right to go have that cake and go have those cookies when you want, or have that thing. Right. Because if you're just doing that all the time and you seek comfort in every realm of your world, then what do you end up with? I mean, you
end up with pleasure over responsibility.
And it's a disaster.
It's a disaster.
Yes.
And then, we can have disaster. I always talk about success. What does success look like? Success is not just money in your bank. Success is the impact you make on other people.
Absolutely.
And
family, everything.
Starts with us.
Absolutely. Yep. And
So,
you went on a recent transition. How much weight did you lose?
110 pounds.
And how long?
A little over a year and a half.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome. That's phenomenal. Yeah, I mean, how did you do that? I mean, what advice would you give somebody that says, you know what, I see this video and I'm like, man, I want to do that?
So, we started working with you, coaching your business.
Yep.
Not too long ago.
Yep.
And we've now worked with over 2,000 business owners.
Right.
So I'm going to tie this back to how I lost the weight. I had a business operating system
Yep.
that helped me make millions.
Yep.
We've now helped other entrepreneurs make millions with a business operating system.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I hired a guy that I coach in his business, and we developed with them to help them create what we call a body operating system.
Okay. So you were helping him with his business, and he's helping you.
Yeah, he's like, bro, let's get you in shape. I'm like,
hell yeah, let's get
well,
jacked.
but is it just losing weight?
Yeah.
Or is it having a body operating system that helps me lose weight and keep it off?
Okay.
So it's centered around nutrition, right? We got to eat right. Crap in,
100%.
you get
Yep.
crap out.
Yep.
You got to have a mindset adjustment about what you're eating
Right.
and eating the right stuff. An education piece, right? Because knowledge replaces fear.
Absolutely. You're not exactly what I tell people. I say you're mitigating risk. It's risky for them to go buy this asset. It's not risky for me because I know what I can do with it.
Exactly.
Same exact situation.
And so we adjusted the food, we adjusted the macros, we adjusted the people that I had in my life. Right?
That's a huge factor. I think that's under-talked about, to be honest. I mean, that's a huge factor.
Well, you know, you've heard it. We heard it in there today. Like, you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with.
Right.
If you spend the most time with people that are poor, you're going to be poor.
Yep.
If you spend the most time with people that are fat, you're going to be fat.
Yep. Alcoholics, name it, keep going. Exactly.
It just is what it is. Behavioral traits will be adopted by you at some point.
100%. You can't prevent it.
No, you look at it successful because those are the people you just find as success in your life.
Yeah.
And the truth is, you know, we have no right to lead other people till we've led ourselves.
Yep.
And so, like, I felt a little hypocritical of leading other people, and then here I'm 315 pounds.
Right.
And so I started applying a body operating system, which is, in a business, we're looking at numbers every single day. Why am I not looking at macros every single day?
Absolutely.
We're looking at performance, like how many contracts did we get, how much money we make. Why am I not getting the scale every week? Right?
Yeah, measuring.
We're looking at profit indicators every month to make sure we're making money. Why am I not looking at my blood work?
Absolutely.
The profits of my health are healthy
KPIs,
body.
basically, right?
And then I'm looking at, like, why am I doing all this? Whether business or life, is it helping me get to my purpose?
Yep.
My key purpose indicator.
How much more confident do you step on stage now because of that, though? How does it make you
100% more
feel?
confident.
Absolutely, it does. I tell people that all the time.
Yeah.
And you could have none of the money, but just being yourself and being confident in the physique that you build and knowing that you're going to follow through with the things you say you're going to do starts with the fitness, because if you can't control your bank account today, you can't control your business, you have a job maybe you're doing something else. One thing you can control is what you put in your mouth.
100%.
That's the one thing you can't control.
You can.
But then what happens is I see, like, my journey was through the gym. I met entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
And then I met entrepreneurs at the gym, and I wanted to know what they did, and then it just kept going from there.
Yeah.
And that's kind of a commonality. It's a common
is.
thing we've seen here today.
Yeah, I mean, I think we have a lot more control than we allow ourselves to make excuses that we don't do.
Yeah.
I mean, your business, you have control of who you hire. You have control of the vision that you create. You can have the control of the processes you build, right? Those are within your control. Right. Same thing with the business or our personal life. We have control over what we put in our food. But we also have to take responsibility for the knowledge that we are willing to get or not get.
Right.
That helps us have that control.
True.
Because when I eat, there's about 2,000 people in this hotel right now. They're all eating food from this hotel.
Right.
You know where I will be eating at in about 20
Your own
minutes?
meal.
In my own hotel room.
Exactly.
Because
Your
I
own
brought
macros.
I brought all my own George Foreman grill. I brought my own air fryer.
He's hardcore right now, guys.
Why? Because I can't control
Nope.
what they put in that food when
No,
they
and
make it
it's
today.
not even. And what's that is like that's the whole problem you have with healthy.
Yeah.
The word healthy. Nobody really knows what healthy means. What does that mean? And you
Yeah.
can't control, like, you don't know what kind of oils they put in the food. You don't know what kind of butters they cook the food in. You don't know the macros on it. I mean, so the only way you can hedge it if you're traveling and stuff, this is just a tip, is to just really protein hedge. Because if you just eat protein, egg whites, chicken breasts, things like that, maybe a protein shake is the only way you can kind of get away with traveling without really counting in the macros.
Or you order foods from Whole Food and grill it in your room.
Exactly. That's what you did here?
That's what I'm doing.
Oh,
I have a
dude.
suitcase called a mobile kitchen.
Yeah.
It gets checked. It has my spices in it. It has my air fryers in it. It has all
Hell
that.
yeah, man.
And I check it every time I fly. And then I go get it, bring it to my hotel room, put my spread out. Whole Foods is delivered by my executive assistant to my hotel. And I grill my chicken.
Yeah.
Right?
That's how
I air fry
important it
my
is to you,
green
man.
beans. It's how important.
Exactly.
But here's the thing. When you kind of want success, you're kind of going to get it.
Exactly. But when you really want it, you really get it.
Right. Like
Exactly.
it's, Eric, there's a guy, motivational speaker, Eric, and he says, if I took you out to that ocean right now
Yeah.
and I held your head under that water, how bad are you going to want to live?
Exactly.
Are you going to fight intentionally to get out of that
Or
grip?
kind of fight?
Yeah, you kind of fight. You're going to be kind of
gonna be
dead
kinda
in about
dead.
5 minutes.
Exactly, dude.
Now, can you be resuscitated? Sure you can. But I don't want kind of success.
Right.
I want legit success.
100%. And you want that to be able to do what you want when you want. What is success defined to you?
To me, man, is being able to give my life to help other people. That's labor, influence, finances, or experience.
Yeah. I heard you talk a lot about like donating. Your company donates. What's your goal?
By 2026, we want to give $2.6 million to God's
That's awesome. See, and what would you tell the people that think the people that want to get rich are doing evil things and all the bad cliche stuff? About your example of what you just said is.
Well, the Bible says the money's root of all evil. So it's the evil that comes from money is where it originated. Like why you're doing it. What's your purpose? It's your intention.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. Intentionality is a very key word for me because whether you're intentional in success in business, intentional in life, or intentional in how you're making money and what you're doing with the money is what creates evil.
Right, exactly.
Right?
Yeah, because drug dealers make a lot of money. Do you think they're helping?
Yeah.
No. There's a lot of people that make a lot of money. White collar crimes, I mean, everything. There's so
100
much
ways
stuff.
to make money, but there's not 100 ways to be intentional in your good response to how you make money,
Absolutely,
right? There's just straight core values that you have to live life by, you have to govern by, and your beacon, right, should be your purpose.
Yeah.
And if your purpose, if you're getting out there, you're listening to this podcast, you're listening to this short today, you're listening to this video, and you're talking, like, I want money, I want success, I want those Jordans, I want that Rolex, I want that fancy car, then you haven't earned the right yet to be successful.
Exactly.
You do not forfeit responsibility for pleasure.
Right.
Responsibility is not just being successful, not just helping other people. Responsibility is when you are successful, what are you doing with it?
Right. And most people don't see that because that journey, that's a very, nobody sees that part. They don't see that. They don't see that part. They see the end result of having the car, or they see the end result of having the watch and stuff like that. They don't see the sacrifice that maybe the family puts in. Like you have a big family, I have a family. They don't see any of the hard work because, to be honest, nobody wants to watch that show. Nobody sees that. Nobody thinks about it. A few people in your life see that. Maybe the ones that you really care about, family and things like that.
For sure.
But let's not skip to the end part. And everybody needs to understand that there is a time period that you just need to look inward, fix yourself, get yourself right, then get your finances right, and become the leader of your community and of the people around you in order to get where you want to go.
1000%.
Yeah, dude.
It starts with you, man. If you don't lead yourself, you have no right to lead others.
Absolutely. But so many people open their mouth about stuff and they have no experience and they shouldn't even be talking. And a lot of times it's because they have insecurities and they immediately just start vomiting words and they have no experience in it.
Yeah, word vomit is what I call it.
100%. It's so sad.
A lot of professional word vomiters out there, bro.
Yeah, a lot of information out there. A lot of bad information out there.
There is. You know, just because it's said doesn't mean it should be heard.
Exactly. And that's why we're happy to put out this kind of content and help everybody that's out there that has questions. Gary, how can they reach you, man?
Probably GaryHarper.com is my website. You can find me on TikTok, social media, Instagram, Facebook, Threads.
Awesome.
YouTube. We have a massive YouTube channel.
Yeah. You've been on a lot of podcasts too, right?
Yeah, I was recently on Bigger Pockets, Steve Trang's podcast.
Yeah. Awesome.
Usually, coach the top 10%.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So, you've been your company has been instrumental for our operations and our business.
Cool.
We love it, and I look forward to probably our next quarterly having you guys
directly.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Love it, man.
Can't wait to see you.
I appreciate it, brother.
All right,
thank you.
Thanks. Bye.